June 10th, 323 BC, Babylon. A man is dying, he's 32. The palace around him was never really his. He just took it. And in those 32 years, he pulled off something the world had never seen before and hasn't seen since. And nobody after him ever would. He looked at the entire known world and decided he wanted all of it. And he got it. He started in a tiny kingdom that the rest of the world laughed at. He learned from the greatest mind alive. He fought his first real battle before most of boys had even figured out what they wanted to be. And then, somewhere along the way, he just ran out of people to fight. When it ended, his own generals wept. His enemies finally exhaled, and the empire he'd spent everything to build fell apart almost immediately. His name was Alexander, and honestly, I'm still not over his story. A boy with too much fire. Here's where he came from. Pella, Macedonia, a city so overlooked that the rest of Greece barely bothered to remember its name. His dad, King Philip II, had spent years trying to make that little kingdom matter, building an army, picking fights, slowly earning respect that wasn't given freely. His mum, Olympias, was a whole different story. Intense doesn't cover it. She was fiercely protective, almost frightening in her conviction, and she told Alexander, from the time he was old enough to understand, that he wasn't like other boys, that he was meant for something bigger, that the world owed him a stage. He believed every word of it. At 13, he started learning from Aristotle, and just take a moment with that. The most intellectually curious boy in the ancient world, sitting across from the greatest thinker of his age. History, medicine, philosophy, politics. Alexander absorbed all of it. But you could already tell the classroom was too small for him. At 16, his dad left him in charge and marched to war. He put down a rebellion while he was gone. Founded a city, 16 years old. That's where this story starts. The night everything shifted. Then one night in 336 BC, Alexander's father is murdered at a wedding. His own family's wedding. In front of the guests, in front of the family. What happened next tells you almost everything you need to know about Alexander. He didn't freeze. He didn't fall apart. He moved. Fast. Cold. No hesitation. Within days, the throne was his, the army was behind him, and every person who could have caused problems had been quietly dealt with. His half-brother, his cousin, a general overseas who might have been trouble. His mother handled the rest herself. Brutal. But it worked. Then he turned to Greece. Within weeks, city after city fell in line. Before heading east, he stopped at the Oracle of Delphi, first of many. He wasn't the type to move without asking the gods first. 334 BC. He crosses into Persian territory, 37,000 men behind him, the most powerful empire on earth in front of him. He beat them at the Granicus River, then Sardis, Ephesus, Miletus, Halicarnassus, one after another, all the way down the Turkish coast. A whole year of that. Eventually, Darius III looked at what was happening and decided he needed to handle this himself. He picked a tight stretch of coastline at Issus. Smart move. It cancelled out his size advantage. He had Alexander outnumbered. Didn't matter. Alexander tore through him anyway. Darius fled, leaving his own family on the battlefield. His wife, his daughters, his mother. And here's what people miss. He treated them with complete dignity. Full royal honours. No humiliation. He wasn't just trying to win, he was trying to make people actually want him there. So south through Syria and into Egypt. The Egyptians, ground down by years of Persian rule, didn't just accept him. They welcomed him, named him Pharaoh. Not conquered, chosen. He built Alexandria in the Nile Delta. That city still exists today. At the Siwa oasis, a priest told him he was the son of a god. He made sure everyone heard. 331 BC, Gaugamela. Open plain, chariots, war elephants. Every advantage going. Alexander walked through all of it. Babylon, Susa, Persepolis, the heart of the empire, all fell. He burned the royal palace. Nobody agrees why. He was now king of the largest empire the world had ever seen. Then it gets complicated. The further east he went, the harder he was to recognize. He dressed like a Persian. expected Persian ceremonies. His men, the ones who'd bled for him, believed in him completely, started to drift. It broke one night at dinner. Drink, an argument, years of tension. He put a spear through Clytus, his closest friend, the man who saved his life. He didn't eat for 3 days, then kept going. Afghanistan, India. He kept winning, kept pushing, until his men stopped at the Hyphasis River. 8 years. Thousands of miles. They wanted home. He argued, begged, sulked in his tent for 3 days. First time in his life, it didn't work. 323 B.C. Babylon, already planning the next campaign. Arabia, he said, always somewhere left. Then after a banquet on June 10th, he fell ill. 12 days later, he was gone. 32 years old. Fever. Poison. A body that had taken too much. Nobody ever agreed. The mystery was never solved. His generals asked who should inherit everything. 2 words. The strongest. They tore it apart within a generation. 2 things I always come back to. 1 horse, his whole life. When Bucephalus died in India, Alexander named a whole city after him. The Iliad under his pillow every night. His own copy, Aristotle's notes in the margins, right next to a dagger. He believed he was living inside a story worth telling forever. He was right. The empire didn't survive him. But the cities, the ideas, the way he cracked the world open, that kept going. For centuries. Still going now. And the thing he proved, that where you start doesn't have to decide where you end up. That one's still going too.